Hey, what's up and good morning everybody. This is David Pendleton. Thank you for clicking on the video. We're going to be covering the Pro Division qualifying round for the Eastern Classics tournament. So, all in all, minus 15, definitely a good score. We're going to take it and hope that we can at least hit that in the next round and final round, or maybe even do a little bit better. But I do think with this tournament, we're going to see a lot higher scores than what we saw in the 9-hole cup. A lot of these shots are definitely droppable. There's some funnels that we can catch, especially on Pro, on one of the par threes. So all in all, I think it's going to be a good, high-scoring tournament, and I'm excited to share my rounds with everybody. Please do me a favor, if you're not a subscriber, become one. It would be awesome. And secondly, if you like the video, if you like my content, take a moment there just to hit the thumbs up. Really simple to do. Just do it. I really appreciate it. All right, let's hop here into hole number one. So hole number one, it's a little tricky shot in Pro. It always has been, especially when we're getting, some crosswind. We would much rather have direct tailwind, but we don't get that. And the rings are all warped and distorted when it comes down on this cliff. So you've got to be very, very careful with your ring pull, okay? You can see here we're using about half a ball of overpower combined with about a quarter ball of curl to the right. Now, I hit a great shot to the right, and that's okay. A great shot to the left is pretty deadly. To be honest, you'll probably drop it in the water or out of bounds. So, this is obviously the aggressive shot. I think it's the shot that we have to take. You could lay up on the right-hand side of the fairway if you decided that shot's not for you. And then, take yourself like a 0 to 10% shot to pin. But that's going to be a much harder eagle. This is definitely the best way to eagle the hole. Here, we play 25% at mid with our Embringer. We just go full top spin combined with, 1 bar of right side spin. We're just spinning basically against the wind. And that's what I always do with this club. The nice part about going the full top spin and spinning against the wind is normally great proof as well. You can normally hit a slight great left, a slight great right, and you're okay. But here, we do end up hitting a great shot, as you'll see. And we still get the ball into the hole for an eagle. Great right, hit the right side of the cup, but that's normally how it goes with that club. Okay, takes us on here to hole number two. Hole number two, we're going to play 10% at max. The thing here is, if you have an extra mile 9 like me, you can go ahead and play with your extra mile. If you don't, I would suggest taking your big topper to this hole. So a lot of times on this hole, we go big topper combined with the horizon, or big topper combined with the cataclysm. I'll leave the wood club up to you. It's all about what you want to play with and what club you're most comfortable with. But ultimately, this drive here is pretty easy to hit the fairway on. It's just shot number 2 is a long shot. Now, we could try to go from the fairway to the green at the top there, but for me, I've always played the bounce over approach just like this, leaving myself with plenty of room of rings on the right-hand side of the rough just in case I hit a great right. For me, I use the cataclysm. Again, you can use this, you can use the big dog, you can use the horizon. It's whatever is most comfortable to you. And you're also going to notice that I'm playing a very long par 5 with only a katana ball. And the reason that I'm doing that is because we only need the power 2. What we really like on this hole is the side spin 3 for the second shot. Now, you could get that with the Kingmaker, but, I've learned in tournaments past that we don't need to waste a Kingmaker on this hole, as a katana is plenty of juice with this wind angle. That will change if we get headwind, okay? Keep that in mind. This one I'm a little stumped on. I put 10% at max just because I took this shot right here was my first attempt at the hole. And, what I tried to do was just kind of play into the wind here, maybe offset this shot just slightly to the left-hand side of the cup. And this is normally how I start my shots. And then we'll talk about this one here in a second because I can kind of let you know what happened on my second attempt. So on my first attempt, perfect ball. It's all you can ask for. We get to learn from the shot. And we miss it by one full green square to the right-hand side. So, ultimately I need a little bit more offset. Now, the weird thing about this is that even though I had another attempt at the hole, I came really nowhere close to making it on my second shot. I lined it up very similar with just a little bit more offset, but even with the 4 backspin that I used here that you saw, I came in super hot to the hole, and I actually rolled into the top part of the fairway. So I don't know if this hole's a little glitchy. I don't know if it was just maybe a one-off type of situation with my shot, but that's what happened to me. But, I think that's a hard par 3 no matter what. This is one that I'm really frustrated on myself with. Even though I shot a minus 15, I could have definitely picked up an extra drop here. With this hole, we're going to go as much top spin as possible, combined with as much side spin to the right. You'll notice a katana ball again. It's all that we need for this hole, especially in this wind angle. We're getting crosswind. We might switch this to a kingmaker if we were to get headwind. But here we're going with a little bit of overpower combined with a little bit of curl to the right. Really nothing special. We're just looking to power the ball up the fairway here as you see. And we're going to kind of call that mission accomplished. That's going to take us into shot number 2. Shot number 2, always a little bit trickier on this hole, trying to find the right distance of the club. Here, I just want you to play 5%. And you're going to need to figure out for yourself whether you're at mid, medium, or max. So minimum, medium, or max, or somewhere in between like I am here. But I do believe, the 5% elevation normally plays pretty well. We got the ball guideline going through the pin. Now, the only thing that I do here is I hit a great ball, which stinks. So obviously I'm not going to make the shot. If I do make the shot with a great ball from this distance, it just means I did not adjust properly. But I don't. I miss it as I should. Great ball. We missed to the right. Now, you can see there, though, what we do like is the speed was really nice. So we know the backspin was good speed to pin, okay? That's going to take us on to this par 3. Now, you're going to notice I'm playing with a money ball here. I'm going to show you the same shot without a money ball. And all credit on this shot goes to Golf Clash Tommy. Had a couple buddies of mine send me his shot. So I kind of tinkered with it as well to see if I could get it to drop, and I do with the money ball. That's the advantage of a money ball. It makes things easier, but power 1 ball is the key to this hole. 2 right, a little bit more than 1 top, like 1.1 top, 2 right. And you're going to see here I'm putting my red ring right at the rough line with a little bit of my blue ring dipping into the bunker. Perfect ball, and we do get this ball to drop. I admit I have not made this hole-in-one many times on this hole, but here you see we are dead center, okay? If you don't have the money ball, that's all right. You can play this exact same shot with a Quasar. No problem. It's just you have to use a power 1 because if you use a more powerful ball, you're not able to take this rough bump with your sniper, okay? What would happen is you would end up playing it with the Goliath. Now, the Goliath is how I normally play this rough bump, but again, I haven't had much success, so I decided to copy this shot and give it my best, and it does work out very, very nicely, as you'll see here. So even with the Quasar, which is probably my least favorite free ball in the game, we're able to get very, very close. So I hope that helps everybody out on that par 3. Just take a look at those landmark positions, take a look at where we set up, and overall that shot is really nice and a good way to play that one. Now, This one here is a little bit sketchy, all right? We're going to be playing with our extra mile, and then we're going to be playing shot number 2 with our Guardian. And we always go with the Guardian on Pro Division on this hole because this is a very, very difficult hole to albatross. The albatrosses are lucky when they happen on this hole. And what we want to do is we're just looking for the control of the backspin of the Guardian. But you're going to see shot number 1 here on the drive. We're going to be using, again, about 1/4 of a ball of left curl. Now, I hit a great shot to the right, and I almost got myself in trouble. So you can see we definitely don't want a great right. Lucky I used that curl because that curl is ultimately what kept me on the fairway, all right? Now, shot number 2, like I said, 10% here at max. All we're doing is using the Guardian. We're going with enough backspin to get us onto the green. We're using a little bit of side spin to the left. So you can kind of see where I'm setting up here. Way right-hand side of pin, so of course we're going to be using left curl to get us back on track. And we get ourselves a couple of green squares away from the cup. All right, that's a safe way to play hole number 6. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to hole number 7 here. Hole number 7, we play 10% at mid. This is our normal rough bump shot that we play on this hole, especially when we get this type of wind. I don't typically mess around with the rough bump if I'm getting like a nasty headwind mixed with crosswind. But this is definitely a favorable wind to go ahead and play this shot in. Now you're going to see here that the spin adjustment that we're using is about 2.5 top with half a bar right side spin. And again, we're offsetting to the left-hand side of the cup, hoping that the wind is going to push us into the hole. Now, this is a frustrating one as well. So we pull our rings here. And you'll see that we come dangerously close to dropping this one into the cup as well. It's almost as close as you can get without dropping it, right? So, regardless, that's a really nice rough bump as well for hole number 7. Takes us to hole number 8. Hole number 8, when you're getting tailwind in order to win this tournament, with the tailwind, you have got to be able to execute this shot. You'll be able to do it without an extra mile 9. So if you're playing pro, you probably have an extra mile 7 or 8 at least. You can do this same shot with that club for sure. The biggest thing that I recommend the players, if you're looking to build your extra mile, as long as you're not in a competitive clan, you can just really go bore yourself to death and play Tour 2 over and over and over and over again and build your extra mile club. Here you're going to see we're pushing back up to max. And we're just letting this ball rip. And we do just slightly roll back onto the fairway. Here is going to leave us with a 20% end-bringer shot at mid-distance of our club. Full top spin. Again, you see me using some right spin to spin against the wind. Ball guideline dead center of the cup and through the pin. Perfect ball this time. This one's going to come in nicely, dead center, and drop in for the extra eagle on hole number 8. Going to take us into hole number 9. I hope you found the video helpful. Please remember to take a moment there and hit that thumbs up button. Here we're going with a little bit of top spin, about 3.5 combined with side spin to the left, 2 bars. This is another hole where we do not need to waste a kingmaker in this wind angle. We're able to play this with a Titan, no problem at all. As you can see here, don't even need overpower. We just shoot this ball down the fairway, leaving us for a shot number 2. Now, I played this one 10% at max. You'll see here that even though we're using a Titan, we're still having to use backspin. So that's why we don't need to use a Kingmaker on this hole. This one's a really tough green to read. This is a tough hole to make an albatross on. But I played it 10% at max. I think that was like 8.3, maybe 8.5 rings, I forget. But it's not even close to making it. You know, you get weird kicks off that fairway because you can see the fairway's like very hilly. So, you know, that's a tough one to read, a tough one to get an albatross on. But regardless, I think we got a solid playthrough here. Even if you don't drop all the shots that I do, you know, you might pick up hole number 4, which I hit a great shot on. And then you might, you know, obviously you could pick up that last par 3, the one I rimmed the cup on. I hope you do really well. I will see you in the next round. Thank you for watching, and let me know how you do in the comments. Thanks, everybody.